How do we make the Communist Chinese Party pay for the destruction and death it created? By ignoring the norms of morality and ethics, by its release of the Wuhan coronavirus on the world. That's the question. But first, there are three issues that people must understand when addressing this question. One, the mindset concerning the value of life of those that govern in China. The mindset of the Communist Party. Two, the absurdity of anyone thinking that China will pay for any of the damage it has caused. And three, the fact that China does not care what the rest of the world says, thinks, or wants. They only respond to action. The mindset of those governing the Chinese Communist Party can be illustrated by highlighting a statement by Mao Zedong in 1957. Mao Zedong, also known as Chairman Mao, was the Chinese Communist Party revolutionary who became the founding father of the People's Republic of China, which he ruled as chairman of the Communist Party until his death in 1978. Mao Zedong boasted that he had no fear of nuclear war, nor how many of the world's people would be killed, including in China. Mao's exact words were, and I'll quote, "I'm not afraid of nuclear war. There are 2.7 billion people in the world. It doesn't matter if some are killed. China has a population of 600 million. Even if half of them are killed, there are still 300 million people left. I'm not afraid of anyone." That disregard of human life, either inside China or outside of China, is still the mindset of the Chinese Communist Party. The only life that the members of the Chinese Communist Party are concerned with is their own. Do not think it is not. The Chinese Communist Party knows it is currently behind the eight ball in both China and the rest of the world. The only concern the Chinese Communist Party has at present is to ensure that it stays in power. It is unconcerned with what the rest of the world thinks. Recently, the Chinese Communist Party's Politburo, the 24-member governing body of the Communist Party, produced its post-Wuhan virus strategy to quell any dissent within its borders and to ensure its hold on China. To do this, they have to ensure employment for its citizens, ensure the means of the Chinese people to ensure or secure basic necessities of life. That's food, water, shelter, and clothing. Ensure market entities function appropriately in order to ensure that the basics of life are available to the Chinese people. The Chinese Communist Party must ensure that China has food and energy security. The Chinese cannot produce enough food or energy to support the Chinese people. The Chinese are dependent upon imports for these to a great extent. And finally, they must ensure the functioning of the Chinese Communist Party's grassroots institutions. These are the party and state departments and state-owned enterprises. So what should we and the rest of the world do to make China pay for the Wuhan coronavirus destruction? We act. We don't talk. We don't threaten. We act. We ensure that the United States will not contribute to the Chinese Communist Party's ability to ensure employment for its citizens. This can be done by forcing the complete return of United States manufacturing and production that had been allowed to migrate to China over the last 4 decades. Its return to the United States, not repositioning it to other Asian countries. If the Chinese Communist Party cannot ensure employment to its citizens, it will be more apt to react to the United States and the world in a reasonable fashion. We have things that the Chinese Communist Party needs: food and energy. No matter what the Chinese Communist Party says to the world, it will never be able to fully supply the food or energy needs of the Chinese people. The Chinese Communist Parties need to be able to feed its people, give the world an advantage against the Chinese Communist Party. It should be used, not just threatened to be used. Action, not words, are the only things the Chinese Communist Party understands. Words without action are considered weakness by the Chinese Communist Party. Action must be taken quickly on the manufacturing, food, and energy fronts. Action is only what the Chinese Communist Party understands. Well, I hope this helps. Have a good day.